Seen a lot of hype about the Steam Deck. Yes, I know. A lot of people are just pretending like Steam never had any problems before making hardware. A lot of people are just forgetting all of the trash that Steam made in the past. Like all of a sudden this is gonna be like the next mainstream console everybody's gonna get. Like this is a new contender for a home console. It is absolutely not. I will be shocked if this thing makes it even like into GameStop, to be honest. Like if you see this thing like on a shelf at Target, I will be surprised. Steam Deck is exciting though, the idea is, but so was the Steam console that they made, you know? Not only that, but PC games won't be optimized for the Steam Deck, and because of that, in 2 years already, we'll need an upgrade to play AAA. Yeah. I saw some people are going in, people are insane. Okay, people are crazy about the Steam Deck. I saw some people talking about how it's going to be capable of 4K 120 hertz. Are you fucking out of your mind? You're out of your mind. Zero chance that's going to happen. It's open source. You can do a lot of cool shit with it. I don't see the average Joe going out and being like, I need a Steam Deck because I'll be able to play freaking Dota on the go. Like, it's not gonna happen. The average Joe wants I mean, everybody's comparing it to the Switch, and I understand because they're very similar. The average Joe isn't gonna go, I need a Steam Deck because I want to be able to play, I don't know, what's a mainstream cross-platform game that's on both? Overwatch? I need a Steam Deck because I want to be able to play Overwatch in my lap on the couch. The average Joe's not gonna do that. The average Joe's gonna go, let me get a Switch so I can play Overwatch on the couch. Because you just take it and you put the game in and then it works. On the Steam Deck, it has to emulate Windows in order to get the game to work. It's not guaranteed the game's gonna work. And then if it's a multiplayer game, it's not guaranteed that's gonna work because if there's certain anti-cheats that the game has, it just won't let you play online. It's exciting. WoW. It's exciting to be able to play games like WoW. Apex might even look a little better. It might play a lot worse, though. It's not going to be optimized for that console. MVG has the right idea, though. Wipe that thing clean and load it up with Windows and a bunch of emulators. Yeah, it'll be, what, $400 emulation machine? That's another thing. The $400 version is, like, almost useless. 64 gigabytes for a PC. You're spent, what did I bought the middle one, and I think that was what, $550? So like if you want it to play any PC games, you're gonna have to spend like $550. You can get RetroArch on Steam. There's no need to install Windows. I'm sure you can emulate everything through the Linux system that it has. I'm sure it'll run everything great. I'm not trying to knock the validity of this thing as an emulation console. I think it'll be great for that. I'm not trying to knock it as being a useful tool to play certain games that you guys might want to play. I'm knocking it because I don't think it's going to be as popular or as game-changing as everybody else, as what I'm seeing people talk about on the internet. I think it's going to be cool. I think it'll solve some problems for some people. I don't think you're going to be talking to Joey from high school at a bar, being like, hey, you're that guy who likes games, right? Hey, I'm looking to get a new console. I've been thinking I want to play some Madden. What do you think I should get? He's not going to get a Steam Deck. And those are the people that's the mainstream audience that's going to take a console into like the stratosphere. It's just not marketed to console players. Then who is it marketed to? PC gamers who have like a giant awesome rig? Why would they then buy this? I don't understand. This literally is marketed to that in-between market. People who don't want to buy a massive, like, expensive gaming rig, but want to try some PC games. It's literally the in-between niche that is, like, I don't think gonna budge.
Do you think the success of the Steam Deck will inspire other companies to enter back into the handheld market? Do you think the failure would inspire them? Like a hold my beer moment.
The failure will definitely not inspire anybody to enter the console market. The success might, if it's successful. Just because it's sold out of pre-orders doesn't mean it's successful. And I tell this to like my dad all the time. My dad's always like, oh, friggin' this guy on YouTube has 50,000 subscribers and he's sold out of all of his merch. How come you don't have merch? And I'm like, Dad, he could have sold 5 t-shirts and been like, sold out. Steam maybe made 4 of these consoles and they're like, sold out, we're done. That's crazy. I didn't know it was gonna be that popular. We sold out of all 4 of them. We don't know how successful it is yet. We won't know until it comes out. And I won't know how valid this thing's gonna be until I get it in my hands and I see how easy it is to play the games that I want to play. Just like I saw other people talking on Twitter defending it, like, you don't know what it feels like. You don't know anything because you haven't held it in your hands. I haven't held a load of shit in my hand, but I know I don't want to hold a dump in my hand. The Steam Deck doesn't look like it's gonna be comfortable. I'm trying so hard not to just be a negative Nancy over here. I'm trying so hard not to just dump all over this, but they make it too easy, guys. That's awesome, having these back buttons. Awesome. This thing's gonna be hot as balls. The trackpads, I completely get it. You need that for some games, but just like the Steam controller, it's not gonna fix things. That D-pad, man, I'm not playing my 2D games, my emulated game. I'm not turning this thing into an emulation console and using the meat of my thumb to play games with that D-pad. And I kind of get why the ABXY buttons are off to the side like that, because a lot of the games you're going to be playing on here, you're going to be playing with the sticks mostly. Those buttons are going to be hit every once in a while. You're playing with the sticks and the triggers. So I kind of understand the layout. It's just it's ugly, and it just doesn't. It looks like a Game Gear, and the Game Gear was not exactly ergonomic. And it's big, and it's got the bumps on the back. I mean, it looks like a Switch with the grip on it, but like let's say Knockout City. Let's say Knockout City comes out and I'm like, yo, I'm going away for the weekend. I could bring my Switch, or I could bring my Valve Steam Deck. Like, if I can play my games on my Switch, I'm gonna play them on the Switch. So you can't do this. You can't. It's got expandable storage, like you can put an SD card in it, but I think the SD card slot is only in the dock, which we don't know anything about yet. Here we go. Effective storage capacity subject to change based on the size of operating system and formatting technology. All models include a micro SD card slot for additional storage capacity. Okay, so I'm wrong about that. They all include a micro SD card slot. Review Tech said, good luck getting any games to run off of the micro SD card. It's not going to work like that. I don't see why not. I mean, it's flash storage. Isn't that fast enough? I'm confused by that. I feel like that should be fine. I feel like the smartest thing to do for the average person is just get the 64 gigabyte model and throw a giant micro SD card in it. Now, this is also a slower hard drive, and this is a faster hard drive. That's another reason why I got that. But I feel like I want to get this and then put a micro SD card in it and just see what happens, because I feel like you should be fine, but other people are saying you're not fine. Again, this would be the best option if you could use the micro SD card, but people are saying that you're not going to want to, so I don't know. So yeah, this is another reason why I don't think it's gonna be as mainstream. It's like, this is a lot, especially if you have an awesome gaming rig. This is basically like one of those gaming laptop desktop replacement things. It's going to be a big wacky thing you're not going to want to carry around. And also, this isn't revolutionary. We've seen all these other things that are we've seen all these other PC tablet things that are very, very similar. The only difference is that this runs on Linux and has its own sort of like UI over it, which would solve a lot of the problems that I have with this stuff. I'm very off-put by those Windows tablets, because they're usually made by some weird companies. It's literally just Windows. There's no UI, and it's a pain in the ass to navigate. This would solve that because it has its own UI. I think the biggest concern is that it's running Linux and it's emulating the Windows games, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that most things will work. But imagine if like the top 10 games are just even a little weird on it. That'll ruin everything. That'll ruin it. And a lot of people are saying that developers are going to start developing games for the Steam Deck. The Switch didn't have third-party support for the first year or two that it was out. No third parties wanted to make games for the Switch because the Nintendo did so bad during the Wii U era. It's hard to get developers to want to develop specifically for your console if it's a new console that nobody has any reason to believe it's going to be successful. All I'm seeing right now is a lot of wishful thinking. Valve went through that with the Steam machines, though. Proton is their response, and by all accounts works very well. Yes, by all of their own accounts. All I've ever heard is from Steam themselves saying that it works well. Proton is the thing that emulates the Windows games to work on their Linux OS. Oh, so the biggest problem with Proton right now is that it doesn't work with anti-cheats. So if you want the biggest appeal to me is being able to play multiplayer games. A lot of top multiplayer games just straight up won't work with this thing. I wonder if they would give developers who publish only on Steam Deck a different cut of profit on software sold, since that's a big topic currently. They should have major incentives for developers to get things to work on Steam Deck. Everything that Valve has done in the past in terms of hardware has been a miraculous failure, except for the HTC Vive. Which was first developed by HTC. So I don't understand where everybody's optimism is coming from. It's because everybody hates Nintendo right now because they were all, again, for no reason. Nobody said there was gonna be a Switch Pro. Well, no, a lot of people did. I don't know why people listen to those guys, but everybody was very disappointed that Nintendo didn't have a Switch Pro. Everybody hated Nintendo. They said, I want this thing to be more powerful. If only somebody would make a more powerful one. And then a week later, Valve is like, yo, hurry up, we gotta get this news out. We've been working on this thing for a while. Now's the time, hurry up. Get it out! And then they got the news out about the, what's this thing called? Steam Deck, which was the smartest thing they have ever done, besides make Steam platform in general. But releasing that news when they did was such a good move, because it really did get everybody all hyped about it. Another thing people are saying is that you could put Yuzu on this thing, and which is a Switch emulator, and you could just emulate Nintendo Switch games on the Steam Deck. Sure, you could, but there's no guarantee that will run good. Even though the Steam Deck is technically more powerful than the Switch, the games are optimized for the Switch. Yuzu barely works. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Even if you have like a great gaming rig, like you're still not going to be able to play Breath of the Wild at a full 1080 30. If this thing fails, I'm not gonna be like, yay, the Steam Deck failed. I genuinely want it to be good, and I'm getting it to see how it is. I just think everybody's got to lower their expectations. It's crazy how everybody's treating this. I don't see a world where this happens. You know? So one time, a bit of a tangent. One time I was at Moe's eating with my friend, and there was a bunch of kids, like 5 or 6 kids in the booth behind us. And they were all playing Smash on one Nintendo Switch, just the Switch, like in tabletop mode in the corner of the booth, and they were using the Joy-Cons. My friend goes to the bathroom. One of the kids comes over to me and goes, hey, are you Wulff then? And I said, yeah. And he goes, my friend wants to fight you. And I said, okay. And then my friend came back from the bathroom, and I was with this group of kids playing them in Smash. And I got annihilated. Playing with sideways Joy-Cons. Well, the reason I bring that up is because that's not the best way to play that game, using the sideways Joy-Con in tabletop mode. That's horror. The thought of doing that makes me want to go crazy. I'd rather jump out the fucking window than play Smash Brothers with a sideways Joy-Con. But it's so easy to be able to do that. You have your Switch on you pull it out, and you can just start playing. It would be better if you got one of those like Panda Global docks where you can plug in your GameCube controller, and now everybody's playing GameCube controllers, and you could all play that way. That would be much better. But that is such a pain in the ass to have your Switch in your backpack with your Panda Global dock with a bunch of GameCube controllers. So why in God's name would anybody have the Steam Deck with the frickin' dock attachment with their 2 fight sticks? And if you're doing all of this, why not just plug it into a monitor? The problem that the Steam Deck solves is convenience. I want to be able to play these games conveniently. I want to know that they're going to work good. The question is this really convenient, or is it going to be a pain in the ass? And that is usually the thesis of the videos that I make. Is this thing going to make my life better or worse when I get it? To some people, absolutely this will make their lives more convenient. To the vast majority of people, I'm not so sure. And that's what's kind of driving me crazy about the whole thing surrounding this. I just seriously think everybody's got to lower their expectations by a lot.